Thank you, Lior. With your permission, I will talk using the mic. I want to burn some calories. As Ronit just mentioned, they will see the movie in a minute. I'm one of the people that spends at least 12 hours in the computer, so I cherish every minute. I have to move. I think that in the life of every nation, there is some DNA which represents the very essence of that nation. A place that defines why that nation is that nation and distinguish it from other nations. This DNA serves like a beacon that represents the past, the present, and the future of that nation. Now, in many nations, this DNA goes back to their greatest battles, to their most heroic wars. In other nations, it's going back to individuals who stood at the right place at the right time and changed the course of that nation. But for the Jewish nation, it's not about wars or just about wars or about just individuals. It's about a place that represents who we are and why we are who we are. A place that the Bible is coming to life when you walk in the streets. A place that every Jew that pray to that place and trying to connect with him and the divine is turning to that place, and every groom under his wedding day, is taking an oath to remember that place, otherwise he would lose his arm. And that place is Jerusalem for the Jewish nation. And Jerusalem suffered from misrepresentation on the internet for many years. The fact there is a paradox and a huge gap between the fact there are only 400,000 Jewish that lives in Jerusalem, and most of the Jewish nation doesn't live in Jerusalem, created a very interesting challenge for people to address, for Jerusalemite to address. And about 2 years ago, a group of proud Jerusalemites have decided to answer this challenge. One of them is now Jerusalem Mayor, Nir Barkat. Another proud Jerusalemite is sitting with us. This is Ronit, who is now responsible for the tourism of the city. And what we have tried to create together is a bridge that represents our capital, Jerusalem, in two layers. The earthly Jerusalem as a modern city that provides cultural life and dynamic life, and events and restaurants. People that live in the city can benefit from that information. People who are visiting the city can benefit from this information. And the other one is the heavenly Jerusalem, the notion of Jerusalem, the idea of Jerusalem as the heart of the Jewish people. What we have done, I'm going to show in a very short movie, and then we'll take it further from there.
Dear Diary, I want to tell you about the exciting and wonderful tour that I had today in Jerusalem. I think that I returned from the tour a different person, someone who is more aware of her Jewish identity, who appreciates the history of her nation, someone who wants to stay connected to this city and what it means to the Jewish people. And as if that is not enough, I experienced all this from my computer, 8,000 miles away from Jerusalem. It's hard to say which part of this trip was the most exciting. There were so many. It started with my tour of the Western Wall. You can see the massive stones in such detail. You can even see the notes inside the wall. These stones that symbolize our closest physical connection to the temple and God can never be captured in words. Looking at the people around you and seeing how moved they are to be there, and going into Wilson's Arch and seeing the holy books there is truly a unique experience. My trip to the Western Wall so moved me that I felt that I had to send a postcard to all my friends from Jerusalem. I chose an e-card that shows multitudes of people praying by the Western Wall, probably from during the high holidays. I wrote to everyone that I hope they can visit this city at least once in their lives. Not far from the Western Wall, I met Barnea Sullivan, a popular Jerusalem tour guide and archaeologist. He has discovered amazing things under the cobblestones of Jerusalem.
Shalom, my name is Barnea Levi Sullivan. I'm co-director of the Foundation Stone Organization, and I'm standing in the courtyard of the Or HaChaim Synagogue in the Old City of Jerusalem. This is where I live.
Barnea was very emotional when he talked about what it's like being an archaeologist in Jerusalem, his thoughts and feelings about Jerusalem, and what it's like to live there. I promised myself that I would visit him and other authentic Jerusalemites again. By then it was lunchtime. I'd heard that instead of waiting in line to get into the worthwhile restaurants, you can simply order a table online. So I decided to go Italian, and I reserved a table in the center of town. It was awesome. While I was doing that, I was able to check out the listings of cultural events that were taking place that day in Jerusalem. I was so surprised to see the length of the list, and I had trouble deciding whether I wanted to go to a jazz show or stand-up comedy. In the end, I settled on clubbing in one of the trendy clubs of the city. Even though I don't have much time left, there is still so much more I want to see in Jerusalem. So I decided to check out the beautiful homes in the area of the German colony. Just as I was looking at one particularly gorgeous home, my sister called me and told me, with great excitement, that she is pregnant with her first child and that the doctors are saying that it's a boy. She had been waiting for so long for this pregnancy that I was very moved. I was so happy that I prayed for her to have a healthy pregnancy and that the birth would go well. I closed my eyes and I asked God to watch over her and give her strength and health. The prayer was an amazing experience for me. To hear my voice being played in the Jerusalem air and go up to God was a unique and moving experience. And then, just before I had to go, I saw him. In the last minute of my visit, he was among so many faces, but something in his smile made my heart skip a beat. I told myself, you live only once, and I took the first step. Let's see what happens. When I look back on my visit in Jerusalem, I feel lucky. This was one of the most emotional days I've had in my life. Jerusalem gave me the feeling of being closer to my Judaism in a way that I did not imagine that I could feel. And to think that I did all this via my computer.
We should actually thank Ilana, which is already taken. Sorry to disappoint you guys.
Dear Diary.
Okay. So after viewing the movie, and Jerusalem.com is just the medium in trying to express how the internet can leverage a connection between people from the other side of the planet and Jerusalem as a physical place. I think the question that Lior has raised in the beginning of the panel, does the internet actually changes a cultural life or cultural way of life? I think the answer is absolutely yes. I think our daily habits and the way we are living our daily life and our daily moments influencing how we live the trend or how we live the cultural life of our Judaism. And the fact we have sites like JDate, which have changed the way young Jewish couples can meet, not just by the community or by the traditional matchmakers, but also frontally, very directly, and very globally. And sites like Joogle, which is changing the way the donation in the Jewish world is being tunneled, are definitely changing reality. I want to end by showing you my philosophy about the internet and how Judaism is getting inside it. Every time someone asks me, how do I define the internet? I ask him back, how often does he or she sees the commercial breaks on the National Geographic Channel? Because one of the most popular commercial breaks is the one that's showing a huge school of fish swimming deep in the ocean. I hope you saw that. And there are two amazing elements you can take out by watching this school of fish. The one is that the movement. They're moving all together, like a holistic and unite group or individual, even if you call it. And the other amazing element is the fact that it's the shape. They are moving like a circle, not in the shape of an arrow, not in the shape of a spear. That means there is no leader. There is no one fish who knows better than the other which direction the group is now facing or going. And if you take out one of the fish and ask him, how do you know where the group is going to turn next? He will tell you, I have no idea. But what I do know is that in order to know where the group is heading, I have to be a part of it. And I think this sentence is true to everyone that loves the internet and uses the internet, and also for Judaism. So I wish us all a very refreshing swimming, and see you in the field. Thank you.